Kensil Culture, Puppets, Props, Puns, Podcasts.
John, let's get on track here with that 8-track. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to another segment of Kensil Culture, the pop culture magazine. And I'm here, the legendary with the one, the only, the master himself, John Kensil.
Hey, people who don't brush your teeth, I'm John Kensil, and that's
Don't
the legendary
hurt those
Wid.
people's feelings.
Wid gave me a present before the show, a Frampton Comes Alive 8-track tape. And
I want you.
well, you have a goatee.
Yeah.
You know what's neat about these 8-track tapes, which are a pain in the ass to listen to?
Oh.
I never realized this, too. Even on cassette tapes, and these were things in the 70s and the 80s and 90s, they were called cassettes, and it said, turn it over, right? I never realized, all right, on an 8-track here, you see a brown magnetic tape going across there.
Okay.
There's 8 lines, and each one is the track, like the track. There's not like 8 different spools in here. They're all across that little tape right there.
Wow.
Right? And
The Germans, that was German technology right there. And that's Bing Crosby used to get them during the war. He used to get their equipment and be able to know what the actual taping was. That's an 8-track, and can I tell you, they would change in the middle of a song sometimes. I want you. And it was like you were shifting from forward to reverse while you were going 30 miles an hour. It was a definite chunk. And I'm telling you that I would have dreams, or sometimes I would think about a song that I heard, because you only had 1 or 2 tapes. I think I listened to Van Morrison Moondance or something 100 times, but I would think about that chink.
oh, you would hear
right
it
in the middle of it.
My favorite one's called Head Cleaner. There's a
that was funny.
what's Bing Crosby's real name?
Bing Crosby was Harry.
Harry something, right? Well, Wid's friend from the Uncle Floyd show, Scott Gordon.
Yeah,
Scott Gordon. He's the big guy with no hair who's Uncle Floyd's foil and best friend.
Very funny guy, very good guy.
Right.
Very musical, very smart. He likes miniatures, and he plays guitar.
And he loves everything we love, old movies and comedy, and he's very funny. And he's Uncle Floyd's partner on this. They do a show every Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Check it out online. But this story goes back. There's a famous guitar player, recording engineer, guitar player both, Les Paul. Who I think he grew up in the New York area, Upper Jersey.
He was in Mahwah, New Jersey.
That's
he
it.
had a house there for years and years outside of New York. He was one of the greatest. He was considered the greatest guitar player. Had a string of hits back in the 50s. And
was it Les Paul and Mary Ford?
And Mary Ford, they were, and then that they were always mysterious about their thing, but but yeah, I know it was him. But he would play almost a psychedelic sort of what do they call it now, stratting or
the Les Paul guitar, which is the fame, like the AC/DC and Eddie Van Halen.
It was the first electric guitar with a solid wooden body. Yeah. The other ones were hollow and were he called it the brick.
Yes.
Okay, and it was just like and he's the innovator, hence the name Les Paul guitar. He's a very funny man. Started out as a
stilt walker,
a rodeo clown. Okay, and then he became sort of a singing comedian. But
now you're talking turkey.
He knew how to make the hits too. He had a lot of hits.
He's a very interesting guy. But Scott Gordon, who's probably in his 70s now. When he was a little kid, he lived right down next door or down the street from Les Paul. And he talks about being a kid hanging at his house. And he said he recalls it was an interesting story. He goes, I go in there as a little kid, and a bald guy comes down wearing a robe and talks to him for a while and asks for a cup of coffee. And Scott makes for him, or they share a cup of coffee and they talk. And he leaves, and Les Paul comes in and he goes, "Hey, Scott, I saw you met my friend Harry." Here it was, Bing Crosby. He was staying with them while they were recording. It was very interesting. And I went to a guitar show, and they had a display of Les Paul's prototypes of guitars he made.
Yeah, he kept them up there in Mawai here. He had like a
and he had one there. They wanted $22,000 for it at the guitar show. He was always being inventive with a guitar. He had a guitar with a flexible microphone built into it, so you could sing and talk at the sing and play at the same time. Very, very interesting. He always was doing neat things like that. But Scott Gordon was buddy with him. Now, too, Wid.
And so was Jackie Martling was good buddies with him.
Oh, yeah.
Les loved a good joke. I mean, he started out being a rodeo clown.
Did you ever meet him?
I met him a couple times he would play at a place called Fat Tuesdays. And he would, and it was kind of a casual scene. It was, in New York City, and he'd play at this place, Fat Tuesday. This is before he played the Iridium, which is right on,
isn't that
on Grant Center.
Iridium? It's not diarrhea medicine. It's Imodium.
This is, I want to hear less out of you. Okay. No, and Les Paul would play at this place, and I would go see him every now and then because, it was Les Paul. And he would call people up from different bands that would, come in and see him, make the pilgrimage to see Les Paul, a living legend who was still playing. And I was there once when the one, the only from Guns N' Roses, Slash, okay?
Saul Hudson.
He wore that, stupid hat out in public.
Yes.
I mean, you can see it from the stage, but he had that hat on there, too.
He stole that hat from some fashion store in L.A. and he just put a belt buckle on it. And everything was groovy.
Well, he couldn't. He got up there with a guitar, and he started, tuning. And Les Paul is sitting there, and he goes, "Give me that!" And he takes from
Slash.
From Slash, and Slash looks like you can just see him melt in the seat, and Les Paul gives it back, almost in a joking sort of way. But Les had a sense of humor.
Slash plays,
and two opposite-looking people that you didn't want to see. I mean,
Slash plays a golden Les Paul guitar. It's kind of how you recognize it. There's one Jimmy Page plays. So one body with one little ear in the bottom. Very cool. Now, Wid, you mentioned that store.
He's looking for $1 million guitar. There's a guitar out there worth $1 million. Like Slash has, that's why he and Les Paul got along pretty well.
Now, Wid, you mentioned seeing these stars up in New York. Did you ever go see Woody Allen play?
No, I did not.
He plays every Monday at the.
He played at Michael's Pub
under Carlisle.
He played the jazz and the thing. And
he's 87 years old.
I didn't want to see that kind of music at one time because I had seen it on television, like him playing the stuff, and the stuff was a little bit,
Dixieland jazz,
20 Dixieland jazz, and to go there to Michael's Pub was a lot of money.
I went there.
I missed him.
I went there one time, and they were playing the Dixieland jazz. It sounds like a New Orleans funeral, right? And then Woody Allen between songs goes, "Do I have any requests?" Right? And I raised my hand and I said, "I shot a moose." And he goes, "No, I mean music." So anyway, very interesting. Now, speaking of music, morons.
Shoot a moose.
Wid. He lives down in South Philadelphia, down by the stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend, was he there 3 nights or 2 nights?
I think she was there 3 nights. I mean, there was,
Taylor Swift was there.
Taylor Swift. And you could torture me, John. Still, you could torture me. You could do anything. You could put, bamboo shoots under my fingers, right? You could hold my family hostage. I couldn't tell you one song.
Oh, her popular song is that song, Shake It Off. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. And she also sings, I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. And she sings, welcome back, your dreams or your ticket out. But she's from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
She's from the outskirts of Allentown, and I know more about it. It's like a sports figures. Sports figures, I know more about their personal life, where they were born, how they, how many times they beat their wives and things like that. And her, I know that she's changed since she was a little girl.
Yes,
her fans,
all
dress up like they're like
sexy,
Judy Garland or Rosemary Clooney, or
she's gigantic,
or something with those shiny like showbiz things. Like they're all Liza Minnelli's. Yeah. They have makeup. They present themselves in a much more tasteful way, and and all her fans. But the best part is, it was the Mother's Day weekend, and the mothers would come out, and I don't feel as as sleazy, eyeing up the mom, you know what I mean. But the girls, they were cute, and there was, and there were so many of them. I couldn't believe it. I saw them first when I got off the train. I had no idea. I said, "Oh, look at." There's somebody in a shiny dress that looks like they're about to break into a show tune. And then I saw another, and then groups of 20 of them, all right, all like that, and all clean behind the ears, their elbows are all washed and everything like that.
And they're in South Philly with old Guidos.
They're giving money to homeless people, they're saying, hi,
Well, tell us, she's gigantic. She's known for writing songs about breaking up with people.
I even know that, but for a song like... I don't know. You would
notice that song "Shake It Off." I can't sing it because my testicles didn't descend yet. But she's very popular. But she sold out the stadium. Like there had to be 40,000 people there.
It was something else. I mean, the Philly captain, gosh bless him. Okay, he's a guy who goes around and he does a lot of sports, but he does a lot of backtracking, back street sort of Philly neighborhood, calling it together, putting the history of Philly thing. But he was outside the front of the stadium, and thousands of women were singing the same song, singing along with her. Like you could hear.
She was at the age of 14. She convinced her parents to move to Nashville, Tennessee, and her first guitar teacher was something like Schlub, who taught her like chords. Oh, no, guitar was. He was the computer fix-it guy. He came to her house to like rewire, and he goes, "I'll show you some chords on guitar." Well, he's a what do you call it? A cable computer guy, repairman.
Okay.
Like the wiring guy, not like what's it called, the Geek Squad. This guy comes right.
He needs an outlet.
Anyway, what's
the name of this place? Give it a plug.
Anyway,
come on, keep current.
But he bills himself as what's her name? Taylor Swift's guitar teacher, and she doesn't like it. Like that, she goes, "I did this on my own, not you. You taught me 3 chords, right? The umbilical and the other two." But it was huge seeing her there, and a big controversy happened this weekend. There's throngs. Is that the right word of saying it? Throngs of people. Well, there was a barricade,
throngs,
right?
Yes. Yeah,
there was a barricade there.
I don't think you can say a throng wrong.
Right. Well, there was a barricade there, and the girls from Baltimore and other places were kept like leaning on it, right? And their ample bosoms were hanging all over it, and their tight bodies, and they're hanging all over it. Well, the security...
And that's just the guys.
The security guard kept yelling at them.
Right.
Well, in the concert, she was singing. She stopped and goes, "Hey, leave them alone. They didn't do anything. I'm warning you. Leave them alone. What's the big idea?" And she yelled at the security guard. Well, that made all the news in Philadelphia. Probably made news across the country. Taylor Swift berates a security guard, right? And so they interviewed the girl. Right.
You know, Mick Jagger's done that.
Yeah.
You know, every star's done that. You know, and Taylor deserves to be able to call out somebody who is, you know, she has to be ultra woke and sensitive, and if she has that many throngs of people and getting them to dress pretty good, I don't care what her music sounds like.
I saw the Stones a couple years ago. It was the summertime, and I had a nice Hawaiian shirt on. And Mick Jagger was on stage singing, "Start me up, start me up," and he stopped singing. He saw me. He goes, "Shh, everybody, stop playing." And he points to me and goes, "Nice shirt. Would the Don Ho have a garage sale?" And then he starts singing again. Just totally embarrassing.
How about his sister? Don Ho's sister. Skanky.
No, but I've seen Pat.
She's Hawaiian.
I've seen Pat Boone's ugly sister.
Who's that?
Baboon. So, oh, right there. Now wait, you have glasses, all right? Now, speaking of country artists, okay, Wid's favorite movie of all time is Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Wait, hold it. Okay. No, I'm eastbound and down, but you know, I understand the culture out there that they go after. Coors Light this time?
No. Oh my God! So Smokey and the Bandit, very popular movie, 1977. They bring 400 cases of Coors Light across state lines from Georgia to Texarkana, and the only reason they had to bring that over was because it would go bad because Coors does not have preservatives in it.
And Coors was not sold east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And some people said there was like taxes on it. You're supposed to pay taxes on it.
Oh yeah.
But the main reason it wasn't sold is because it was pasteurized. It would go bad before it got the rest of the state.
When I was of an informative age and young, there was a lot of like backstory about the Colorado Gold.
Yes.
You know, and I actually went through where they brew it. It's out there, and the tanks, the giant tanks that they used to brew it out in the open just for miles. It was the scariest, most industrious thing that I ever saw. The Coors Brewery, and it was,
Oh well, all right. So that
still in my head.
So that was the first movie. All
okay.
Right.
Now, what is the?
All right. Well, and the second
were
one.
the same stars in there?
Yes, the second one's all right, and it's awful, and it's very dated and corny and bad.
With Dom DeLuise.
Yes,
in
well,
it?
that's what it is.
That's all I had. I would,
In this one, Pat McCormick plays Big Anus, and
Pat McCormick is a writer,
comedy god,
writer for the Tonight Show.
Comedy god, absolutely brilliantly hilarious. And Paul Williams, who's still alive, played Little Anus. It was Big Anus and Little Anus, the anuses, and but they hired Burt Reynolds to kidnap an elephant and drop it off at the Republican.
The Bandit, you mean?
The Bandit, to drop an elephant off at the Republican convention, and it would look good, and this guy's running for governor of I don't know, Texas, Georgia. So they have to go to Miami and pick up an elephant.
Okay.
And the elephant's sick. And they go, something's wrong with the elephant. Where can we find an elephant doctor? And Dom DeLuise plays an Italian doctor with a stereotyped accent, like, it's the big elephant. I don't know. Yeah, what do I know? I'm going to have some ouzo. All right, it's awful. But Jackie Gleason returns.
Okay.
In the movie. And,
overacting Jackie.
Right. And what I read, too, was he filmed all his scenes at one time because...
I bet he did, yeah.
He said
he was on his...
It was way out. Well, he said he wasn't doing that well. So I watch it. And the movie's corny and bad, and Burt Reynolds has a really bad wig on. It looked much like this.
Oh, my God.
That's what it looked like.
Where's Sally Field?
Right. And I looked too. He was only 44 when he made the movie, right? But he looked way older. I'm thinking, he's a sex symbol. He looks like a creep, right? So anyway.
He was a football player and macho. He was, it's not only about the looks, John. Sometimes it's how your swagger.
Well,
okay.
You watch this movie, and he had like Terry Bradshaw's in it, and Mean Joe Green, a bunch of football players,
and he's going to try to smuggle an elephant. Where's he going to keep the elephant, in his trunk?
Anyway, Yes, it wasn't about. So they're driving across the country. Well, all of a sudden, Jackie Gleason shows up. So Jackie Gleason has a secret plan.
And away we go.
He hires his two brothers.
Okay.
To show up, to help him out, and both played by Jackie Gleason. The one brother was a Canadian Mountie who looked like Reginald Van Gleason with the big, thick Hitler mustache.
I just remember. I think you posted something on this, didn't you?
Oh my God!
I didn't remember Jackie ever being a royal mounted.
But he did that character from the old Jackie Gleason show. He was a fat guy with
okay, yeah.
And it wasn't really a Hitler mustache. It was much bigger, but it was right down the middle of his chest thing there.
Reginald Van Gleason.
So he plays Buford T. Justice, and he goes, "Oh, here comes my brother now." And he drove down from Canada to help pursue the bandit. Okay. And he used a split screen because, Jackie Gleason's playing both parts. All right. Then he goes, "Where's our other brother at?" And you hear, "I'm over here, sugar." All right. And it's Jackie Gleason's gay brother, Gaylord.
Get out.
Right? And he has a big white wig on and a big white handlebar mustache. And it was the funniest thing because he had a boyfriend, his deputy.
He wouldn't have to change his name. He could be Jackie or Jackie.
Yeah. Well, it was it was so politically incorrect. Jackie Gleason playing a gay gentleman, right? Well, there's a movie called To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, sure.
Well, there's a young kid in the movie with big buck teeth.
Okay.
Right? His teeth are. I don't know how this guy ever made it in Hollywood. His teeth were like this. All right. Well, he played Jackie Gleason's deputy.
Put that back in your mouth, John. What was? He had an index card in his mouth. Those are teeth. Okay.
The
How
guy.
much that cost you?
Between 99 cents and $1.01.
Oh, they must be buck teeth.
Well, this guy.
Get it?
You bet your little belly button it is. Is that you, Gaylord? You bet your little belly button it is.
But I just want you to see this. Look, there's a guy.
Oh my God! He has a Boy George looking boyfriend.
It's his boy, but this is 1980, and he had, for some reason, his deputy had a Bo Derek braids in his hair.
Was that when Boy George? I don't know.
No, it was before. It was 1980. It was like 4. Yeah. But he had Bo Derek braids in his hair, and it was so strange. And then Jackie Gleason, the Canadian guy, stands next to him and looks at him and goes,
as only Jackie Gleason could.
And the movie's so bad because Burt Reynolds has on a shiny satin, remember those satin jackets were popular in the 80s? Those satin base.
Oh, yeah. And like the club jackets.
Yes. And it's really dated. It's awful.
Yeah. Members only.
Yeah. And in the end, the elephant gives birth, and they're all happy, and they're driving away. And they're playing like cartoon circus music because it's an elephant. And all of a sudden you see Jackie Gleason in a tour bus going, "I'm going to get you, bandit." And the movie ends.
And away we go.
All right. And it's awful, stupid. And it made a lot of money, too. It made a crap
I'm sure it did on the Good Old Boy network.
The best part of this movie.
Okay. With Sally Field in it, too?
Yes. And she was 33, but it's weird. That saying's true, man. People back then looked way older for some reason. I guess the clothes, but is the outtakes. Just seeing Dom DeLuise make Burt Reynolds laugh. And what movie is it? Is it not The Hangover? It's Old School, one of those 90s or 2000s comedies, old school. Or at the end of the thing, they show the outtakes from Smokey and the Bandit 2, the outtakes at the end of the film, and it's hilarious. It's real. Just seeing Dom DeLuise just going off, it was absolutely hilarious, okay?
Dom DeLuise was always on the brink of bursting out laughing.
Oh,
always.
My God.
Even when he was, in his most panicky, like this, and he was always on the edge of just going to burst out laughing.
There's an episode of Johnny Carson with Dom DeLuise with Rodney Dangerfield. Dom DeLuise almost explodes. He just can't stop laughing at Rodney. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So, all right, but they still made a lot of money. All right, they made one of the crappiest movies ever of all time called Smokey and the Bandit 3, right?
You're kidding.
Not the Cannonball Run. And it was originally called Smokey is the Bandit, where the Johnny K. Gleason was he takes over the bandit. It's awful. It's terribly horrible, bad. Well, Big Anus and Little Anus are in the movie. They feel sorry for the sheriff, Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Did they have much bigger parts probably because they couldn't was Burt in it?
No, Burt Reynolds is not in it until there's a certain scene. So the movie is Jackie Gleason has to bring a stuffed shark to a restaurant, and he tied the roof of his car. He's going to make a lot of money because he wants to retire. Oh, know what it is too? He does retire. And they just show him walking down the beach in Florida because they had to appease Jackie Gleason because he lived in Florida.
Yeah.
And he's bored, he's restless, and he needs a mission. So they feel sorry for him. What's that? Oh, he's bored, right? So he needs a mission. So they feel sorry for him. So they tell him, you got to bring the stuffed shark to our restaurant. We'll give you a lot of money. And he likes it. So your boy, Eastbound and Down, what's his name? The singer, Jerry Reed.
Eastbound and Down.
Well, he's in it, and he dresses up as Burt Reynolds. He puts a red shirt on and a black mustache.
Oh, you're kidding.
Right, and he's driving around.
This I got to see.
It's really bad. He drives around in a newer Trans Am, like the Knight Rider Trans Am, even though it's a Firebird, that style. Not the right. And the movie's so effing horrible and bad. There's only one good part of the movie.
What's the good part of the movie? I know that you're a critic and you understand and you study these movies so we don't have to do that.
They're driving through some town in Florida with his big son, the idiot, whatever his name was, right? Junior. And Junior goes, "Hey, Daddy, none of these people have any clothes." And here they drove through a nudist colony. And this is 1983. There's tons of nudity. There's breasts flipping around and bouncing around and like snowshoes in a Jiffy Pop. Just, oh my God. And like, ah! And he's like, "Junior, avert your eyes." Right? And it's awful. It's a crappy movie. Well, in the end, Jackie Gleason's like so delirious.
Okay.
He walks up to confront Jerry Reed as the bandit. And they got Burt Reynolds to film a 20-second cameo. Where Jackie Gleason's so delirious, he looks in the car and there's Jerry Reed, but in Jackie Gleason's mind, it's Burt Reynolds. And Burt Reynolds goes, "Hey, Sheriff, you finally got me." And then the movie ends. It's awful. It's so effing bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I've seen film on Chicken Noodle Soup worse.
And the rest is gravy, I guess.
But it was.
I like Burt Reynolds because he was funny and he had that carefree attitude, and he made a couple of good, when he wasn't doing his his staples. He made a couple good detective movies where. He was chasing the bad guy, and he was like some sort of rebel detective or something like that. It had a couple names.
In the movie though. I don't know if you people out there do this. I do this all the time. You watch a movie, you go, "Who's that guy?" And you'll Google him on your phone. I'm on IMDb and Google, so there's always people all the time. Well, there's a big, gigantic, hulking guy in the movie.
I'm right here.
I got to look him up. The guy's gigantic. Well, in 1980, he was known as the strongest guy in pro football. The guy was like 6'7", 280 pounds. He's a big white guy, gigantic, with a big baby Huey head, big like lips and beady eyes. Well, here he's from Chester, Pennsylvania, which isn't that far away.
No.
Right? And I'm like, whatever happened to this guy? And he was on like strongman competitions. Well, Burt Reynolds loved football players.
Okay.
What do you call it? Terry Bradshaw. He always had him in his movies. This guy played a giant trucker, and he's in a Cannonball Run as a guy. He's a big hulking guy. So I'm like, whatever happened to this guy? Right? Well, it says he had to do 6 months in jail for insurance fraud in real life, about in the 90s. I'm like, whatever happened to this guy? And he says that he coaches like little league football and stuff, but it says now he sells steel chairs in South Jersey.
Hey, that's the way the poor football players get shook up. And I guess once it's not an extended thing like showbiz. Showbiz, you can sing to your 17 to your 100.
Now it's funny because these cars. I saw Burt Reynolds the last time before he made himself die. He was in Philadelphia at an autograph session, and holy crap, man, he looked like a marionette. He looked,
he got pretty.
And he died a couple months later, but he was
He
auctioning.
always had that swagger. I guess doing stunts and probably extending himself in a lot of things, and being married to Lonnie Anderson, that must take a lot.
No, it's really horrible about him. He went through some sad money costing divorces, and even though he was famous, oh my God! But he auctioned off his car, the Trans Am, right? Man. But here it wasn't the one in the movie; it was one the studio gave him that he autographed. But he had to do shows. Do you think he wanted to do an autograph show? It's just sad. He had a Burt Reynolds dinner theater. He needed money.
I think that Burt also liked to. I knew a girl who from my graduating class who worked down there with him and said he was a great theatrical angel. He invested in a lot of people who played at his dinner theater.
You know, it's weird too. When I saw him, we're going to get out of here in a second. When I saw him, it was really weird because when people get older, do they glue on fake eyebrows? I'm not lying to you, right? Look at some pictures of like Burt Reynolds before the end of an autograph session. There's one eyebrow, it's like up in the air like that. I think your eyebrows fall out, right? But fascinating talk here on this week's episode.
It wasn't a unibrow, okay?
Yes.
That you can't trust that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
John Kensil here saying thank you for watching and sharing.
It has been Kensil Culture, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, the Pop Culture Magazine. Be sure to press that bell
and subscribe and share. Tell your friends.